I'm the ref. Welcome to my new channel. It's called The Playing Field. Well, we're going to talk about the game of life. Alright? Welcome to planet Earth. We're not on Mars. Now you might say, well, we all know we're not on Mars, ref. But some of us act like we don't know that we're not on Mars. See, Earth life has certain rules. There's a certain game that is played on Earth, okay? And so, when I see people breaking the rules of the game, what I gotta do is I gotta call a timeout. I gotta call a timeout. And so we got a show called The Playing Field, where we're gonna talk about what's going on the field. We got a show called The Call, where we're gonna talk about the calls that we need to make on what we see. And then we got a show called Coaches and Players. Actually, I ain't named that yet. I'm just telling you some coaches and some players are going to be on the channel. But today, what I want to do real quick, we ain't going to take too long with this. I want to talk about the playing field, and I want to talk about the players. Okay? Just like sports. You got the bosses in life. You know who the bosses are. The bosses make the money. The bosses are in charge of the money. The bosses are in charge of basically seeing that the game of life continues. Alright? You got the coaches. Alright? The coaches, they're over the players. They're over the players, the people that are actually playing the game. They're under the bosses, and they basically make sure that the players are doing what the players are supposed to do. You got the players. The players are the people who are actually playing the game. They're the people who are winning the game. They're the people who are learning the game. They're the people who gave up on the game. And they're the people who lose in the game. Alright? Then you got your refs. The refs are the people who observe what's going on the field and make a judgment or a critique of what's going on the field based upon the rules of the game. See, you could be a boss, but you still got to play by the rules. You could bend the rules a little bit, but you still got to play by the rules. And so the ref looks at the rules and tells you, hey, the game is either A, going according to the rules, or it ain't going according to the rules. Alright? So anyway, refs are your lawyers, your judges, your cultural critics. They all kinds of refs out there. You got your cheerleaders. The cheerleaders, they out there cheering on the players. The players need some motivation. So you got cheerleaders of all types in life, and we're going to be talking about them in the future. You got your fans. The fans, you know, everybody don't want to be a player. Sometimes people want to sit in the audience. That's a fan, okay? We don't want to play every game there is. So there's fans. The bystanders are the people that are not interested in the game at all. And there's two types of bystanders. You need to understand this. There's two types of bystanders out there, all right? There's the bystander who is the floater. He ain't interested in the game, and he ain't gonna mess with you either. Okay? So he floating by, you ain't got to worry about him. He doing him, you doing you. He in a totally different game. It's all good. But then you got the hater. There's floaters and there's haters. The hater, because he ain't found the game that he could play, he hating on the game you playing. Because he ain't found the game that he can coach, he hating on the game you coaching. Because he ain't a boss, he hating on the bosses. There's people like that in the world. And so you got to kind of watch out for the haters, all right? Now, when you watch out for the haters, what you do is you see a hater and you go the other way. Because the hater ain't got nothing to do with what's going on the field, okay? If anything, this is why we got security in the world, to keep the haters out of the game. All right, so you got players that's winning the game. I don't know if y'all can see this actually. But you got players that's playing the game. You got players that's losing the game. But this is all of the people that's on the field. Alright? And you in some kind of field yourself. Alright? So there's bosses that are playing with other bosses. There's coaches that are playing in a field with other coaches. There's players playing with other players. There's refs that's playing with other refs. Different game, different rules. Alright? So then you got your coaches that are on the sidelines of every type of game. You got your fans that are on the sidelines of every game. You got your refs that are associated with every game. You got your cheerleaders. You got your floaters, your bystanders that's just floating about. They ain't, don't worry about it. They doing their own business, you doing yours. Then you got your bystanders as haters, ones you really got to worry about. All right, and so this is what we're gonna be talking about when we get into our shows. So you're gonna hear these terms coming back up. All right, and I say all of this so that we can kind of get it straight, because there's some people that's playing the game wrong. And I'm gonna have to throw some flags. I'm gonna have to make some calls. I'm gonna have to put them on the playing field. We're gonna have to talk about it. I'm the ref. Check y'all next time. Peace.